What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and we got to talk about this Deion Sanders, Asante Samuel conversation one more time. As Ryan Clark has brought it up on the pivot, and now you have Asante Samuel responding to him, and Asante had responded to Shannon Sharpe, who said there was no conversation between him and Prime. That's what Ryan Clark is saying now, and Asante's like, "Look at my statistics. Look at what I've done." And, he's pretty much saying he's done things that Coach Prime didn't do, or it took him many more seasons to accomplish, and, having a statistical argument. Well, Ryan Clark, we're going to get into what he said, but we're going to show kind of what Asante has said, responding to Shannon Sharpe first. Then we're going to get into Coach Prime's response that he had, and then we're going to go into Ryan Clark's clip. Let's check it out.
Shannon Sharpe, Mr. Shannon Sharpe. Y'all think I'm just supposed to sit here and believe that Deion Sanders, a.k.a. Primetime, is the greatest corner to ever live, and basically no one could ever be better than him? That's basically what y'all want me to believe, that he's the greatest corner to ever live, and nobody shows proof of anything in the past, in the history, his stats. You could show some highlights of what he did and it looks pretty and whatnot. Yeah, I give him that. But y'all want me to believe he's the greatest player to ever live and the greatest cornerback to ever live and nobody can ever be better than him? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm from Lauderdale. I don't know where everybody else from, but I'm from Lauderdale. We don't get down like that. This ain't about respect. This ain't about big names. I'm simply comparing best seasons. And if you want to talk about T-breaks and technique, I'm telling you what the hell the best technique is for everybody. If you're not T-breaking, you're not getting to the ball faster than anybody else. That's T-breaking. You're probably coming up an inch short because it's a game of inches. T-break is known for a fact the fastest way to break to the ball. This ain't about names. This is about you proving that he is the greatest without telling me what they said, and he's a lockdown corner, and he locked down the field, and he didn't have a safety in the middle field. Nigga, what? The most interceptions he had in the year is 6 or 7. You understand what I'm saying? I had 6 or 7 interceptions in a year, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damn times. What we talking about here? I'm talking about comparing numbers and comparing stats. I'm gonna make it nice and easy. You can start from my 2006 season to my 2011 season. 5 seasons. I'm going to put up 5 seasons. You do your research on my 5 seasons, and you can pick any season you prefer from Coach Prime Deion Sanders. His whole career, you can pick many seasons you want against my 5 seasons and do your homework. My 5 seasons against his whole career playing cornerback. Yeah, big talk. This big deuce here.
Now, the argument that individuals will make is that they didn't throw to Coach Prime's side, so it's going to be kind of hard to have as many interceptions. That's going to be the argument, right? Like, if they not throwing the dude's side, how can he have the interceptions? Because getting an interception, yeah, that's nice. That's shutting something down. That's getting possession back for your team. I get all of that. But there's more respect than just refusing to throw that way, okay? And so I kind of just want to highlight that. But we're going to get into Coach Prime's response now. Let's check it out.
I just don't think it's fair to Travis to begin to compare him to the Deion I had the privilege of watching, because I'm talking about
it ain't fair
the greatest. Hey, we're talking about the greatest lockdown cover corner ever, where you could take a Jerry Rice or a Michael Irvin, just take them away.
It's not fair. Skip, what is not fair? And I had some cats from yesterday always challenging me and comparing themselves to me. And I would look in the camera and tell them this, man, stop comparing a monument to a darn moment. They had moments. Perfect. I'm a darn monument, man.
Monument. That's the God's truth.
Yes,
it's just the God's truth.
The foolishness. Like, I ain't even getting into that.
Yeah.
They got to stop that.
Now, Coach Prime says stop comparing a monument to a moment. Pretty much saying he's immortalized. He will transcend his time playing, where people are still pointing back to him for reference. He is the guy, the pinnacle of the position. And Somebody like Asante Samuel, he's saying you were good for that time that you played in, but you're one of the guys that they look at in your era. They look at me throughout the history of the game, is what he was trying to convey at the time. And so we're going to get into what Ryan Clark had to say about that, because he agrees with Shannon Sharpe and a few others that have said there's no conversation between Asante Samuel and Deion Sanders as who's the best. Let's check out what he said.
Asante Samuel and Deion Sanders are having a conversation about football. And you talk about two lions having a conversation. But one of them's Mufasa, though. The other one's Scar. Right? And don't get me wrong, in their own right, both of them were very powerful, right? But there's a reason why they got the Hall of Fame. There is no Hall of Very Good. Wow. Now, you can have the conversation between Asante and Deion Sanders when you're talking about technique. I train DBs, right? And by the time I get them there in college and in the league, I don't change anything they do. If you want a T-step, we're going to figure out how to make that efficient. If you're a bicycle guy, we're going to make sure that you don't run in place. Let's just fix that, right? That's a conversation we can have. But let's not stat watch, Asante. Let's not throw rocks at a tank. You were good. You played zone well. You had good eyes, right? But we cut the film on, like, you get cooked. Because your eyes, as good as they were in zone, they were bad in man, right? You could get double moved, right? We understood that. Deion Sanders shifted the power of the entire NFL. Deion Sanders played for one team, covered the other team's Hall of Famer, and won a Super Bowl. So the other team said, how do we beat that team? We can't get their quarterback. Let's go get the next best thing. Let's go get Deion Sanders. And then he went to the other team and covered the other Hall of Famer and won a Super Bowl with them. And then, just when he got bored, he played offense. Before that, he was the best returner in football. And so I don't believe that the way you play in a career should preclude you from being able to have conversations about technique. But if Troy said something preposterous, I would text him and be like, TP, you know that's not right. Because intellectually, I could have that conversation with him. If Ed Reed said that, if Ronnie Lott said that, if Sean, God rest his soul, was here to say that, I'd be like, guys, like that's not right. But what I ain't gonna do is say, hey, let's pull out the film and look at these stats, and I'm gonna say that I'm as good as you were ever. Because that's not true, Asante Samuel. It's not a conversation. You are not in that conversation. Before you get in that conversation, it's a lot of people from your time playing in the league that's in that conversation more than you're in that conversation.
So Asante Samuel responds, Uncle Tom to the rescue with a bunch of laughing emojis. And what I will say is, Coach Prime, everyone universally kind of has Coach Prime as the top guy. And this isn't to take a shot at Asante. This is just how everybody's had it. And yes, there's some nostalgia for people that didn't even see him play. But to be honest with you, us that saw him play has him number one. To be able to cover who he covered, like they said, he changed the balance of power. Let's go get him, bring him in. He covered Jerry Rice. Okay, I need him. Cover Michael Irvin, cover anybody, man. Deion, this guy, he's one of a kind, truly one of a kind athlete. I mean, maybe the most athletic person I've ever seen as far as like size and speed is Bo Jackson. But like after that, Coach Prime and a few others are right there. Coach Prime, man, I love Asante Samuel as a player. I mean, he was at the top. He was right amongst the top defensive backs in the game when he played. We still compare people to Deion Sanders. Like I remember when Tyrann Mathieu was in college, they were trying to compare people. And what's not Tyrann Mathieu, but the kid that was at LSU. I think he was a freshman when Joe Burrow and them won the title. What was his name? He's in the league now. Stingley. They was comparing Stingley to Deion Sanders. It's always like people comparing you to the next Jordan in basketball, right? It's those guys. And yes, they do get a lot of hoopla. They talk about them like mythical figures, but it's because of some of the feats they've accomplished. Not throwing the Deion side. It don't mean they literally never threw over there, but when they say they don't even throw to their side, it's a noticeable amount of times. It's a calculated risk every now and again to throw on that side. But at times they would just go quarters on, without throwing over there. And so, yeah, man. I mean, I understand what people saying. I understand you don't become an Asante Samuel not feeling like you the best at your position, and he's bringing his statistics to the table. But like I said, that could be skewed by them not throwing to his side as frequently as they throwing to you. So you have to look at attempts, in that direction, right? Like, how many times did they throw over there? And how many picks you get. And then you have to average that out because, yeah, man, I do remember Coach Prime, they thought it was a pick six if they threw it over there. It was just kind of the thing. Not just a pick. It was almost like it was going to be a pick six or pick a very significant gain after he took it, because he had that burst. If he ever caught it in stride, it was just a wrap. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.